Next up,
Had good attending behaviors.
we're really, well, do we have it on our computer? We're going to be able to bring it up, the calendar. We're going to go into our calendar discussion, which is number 18. Okay, it's in your board docs. Under 18. Okay, so this is in response to our board rule changed, and so we threw a couple things out. If we did more of the same, you see a couple little draft parts of this to get ahead of some of the discussion. And the 2019 calendar there has proposed a kind of a proposed meeting start if, and then it shows also the legislative starts and ends. There's a significant NASB conference that kind of interferes with us, and USBA's conference. So we'll get started here. Vice Chair Brittany Cummings, is your light on for a reason? Okay.
I move that we go with option 2 on the 2019 USBE meetings proposed meeting times.
We have a motion to go with option 2 from Vice Chair Brittany Cummings. Do we have a second to that motion? Did you have some discussion to your motion at all?
Mark, can I say something?
Yeah, just one sec. Brittany's gonna talk to her motion, speak to her motion.
I'm just going to say, in the light of all of our hybrid options we've been talking about today, that the option 2 is a hybrid of kind of having that month, but also having the month time lapse between committees and board meeting, but also having the committee meetings in the evening. So.
Okay. Linda, did you have a comment?
Yeah, I just wanted to make a comment about this. And you know what? I can go either way, but the thing that I think a caution is, having lived through both of these and done both of these, I will say that Thursday nights, after everybody's worked all day and then comes all night, I find people to be less cooperative and more ornery, just to be honest. And especially on that Friday board meeting, towards like 2-3 o'clock, everybody starts falling off, and we lose people. It's not such a big deal if it's a study session, if people have already gotten that information. But if we're in board meeting and we're voting and people just start leaving and going home, it got to be an issue sometimes. So just a caution.
Okay. Board Member Lisa Cummins.
As one who attended late night board meetings and for the up until I joined 2 years ago, sometimes they wouldn't get out till midnight, and then I remember the staff at the time, just their faces of staying, because then they stayed until 1 in the morning, and then they had to be here at 6-7 o'clock the next day. And it's going to be, I mean, we think these long days are tough. That's going to be hard.
Okay. Vice Chair Brittany Cummins.
The intent of this lovely hybrid is that we would have a stop similar to our current committee meetings, where we have our committee meetings plus, things afterwards. We had a stop time. And so the committee meetings would have a 9 p.m. stop time and wouldn't go. And then because those committee discussions wouldn't come until a full month later, the staff would not need to be here until 1 a.m. preparing things for the next morning's board meeting. And so it would be that stop time that would be part of that motion.
Board Member Bolter.
I I like that. I think it's a good compromise between everything, and now that I know that there's going to be a hard stop at 9, then that makes it a lot better.
Board Member Reby?
Since I studied matter in 5th and 6th grade, I think of our meetings like gas in a room. It just expands to as much as the volume will allow. So I think if we make our meetings finite, our conversations are finite and our time is more contained. So I think that we can control ourselves and make these meetings more efficient. And we've kind of all got to know each other and work together. And I think we're actually doing much better as a board. So I think that option 2 would work well for that.
And if I might be able to speak a little bit on this, and I'm perfectly fine with option 2 that's being proposed. The challenge is to this board is how prepared you are to make this really work, especially in the committee. I believe a lot of the heavy lifting happens in committee meetings, so the preparation, so that between the board chairs and how they communicate with their committee members and all of that preparation is crucial, I think, to be able to move things forward in a very timely fashion, because that hard stop time is going to happen, and it's not going to be healthy when we can't take care of our business. Also, I'm in favor, as I've taken a look at this, and I'm looking at travel, and some of us has traveled quite a bit. We already make a very significant time commitment to being up here, away from our families, away from our home, in a hotel, and all of that. So we might as well, for those of us that are in that situation, we might as well be in meetings. But I look at the safety aspects of this, of that hard stop at 9. That allows those board members that aren't traveling, that they can get home, try to get 8 hours rest, and try to be back the next day. And so that definitely addresses the health and safety and welfare of our board members, and also of our staff and others that are our audience in here. So I think it addressed all that safety issue concerns that I've had in the past. So I'm supportive of this also.
Mark, can I make another comment? I'm sorry, I can't see you guys anymore, so I don't know who's up.
Go ahead. Do you have a comment?
I'm looking at the draft here, and I know you guys are saying it's a hard stop, but what this says is all times are flexible. That's what it says on the paper I'm looking at, unless you guys have a different one than I have. If we're going to pass it, I want something in writing that there's a hard stop, I think, instead of all times are flexible.
Well, I think I think the start and end time I think we can make sure that's in there, but what's flexible is what happens between 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. If we've got if we have a big lift or something happening with USDB where we need more than an hour, then it might cut into our study session a little bit. I think that's where the flexibility needs to be. It might be that because of what we have happening in our committees, that we start at 5:30 instead of 6. But the way I'm viewing this, but it's pretty clear that it appears that will be a 3 to 9. And I think we make that happen. We have a motion and a second. I'm not seeing any other comments, so we will call this to the vote. The motion is to go with option 2 on our calendar. Let's all vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed?
No.
Will the ayes raise their hands? We have Board Member Bolter, Board Member Cummins, Board Member Nilsson, Board Member Gravitt, Board Member Lear, Board Member Reby, Board Member Cummins, Board Member Huntsman. Was that a nay? So then the nays are being recognized next. Are you a nay? That was. Okay, so Linda, okay, then Board Member Cannon and Board Member Wright, were you a? Motion passed, so. We need a vote. Well, this is just, yeah. Okay, motion passes. Oh, I was hoping those were included in that. Dang. Okay, if we can take your attention to the dates. It's in board docs. There's a calendar that shows the yellow. Board Member or Vice Chair Brittany Cummins.
I would like to move, I think, that we add a July meeting for the purpose, and I guess it could be a provisional meeting, maybe it's a placeholder meeting for the purpose of consent items that are urgent, such as contracts that need to be approved prior to the upcoming fiscal year, or at that beginning point of the fiscal year, as well as a board work meeting, so similar to what we're doing this month for strategic planning, as well as we're going to have the consent calendar as an action item at that meeting as well. So,
Do you have a particular date, like the 12th or the 11th of July?
the 11th of July. It's a good day. I can feel it.
Are you speaking to the existing calendar right now,
Huh?
shown with an additional date, or?
Correct. Yeah, sorry. Yes, I would like to move that we approve the 2019 calendar with that amendment, with the July 11th added.
Okay. Something happened.
Hmm?
What happened here to my screen here? Okay, we have a motion to approve the proposed USBE meeting calendar as shown in our exhibit here that's marked in yellow with an additional July 11th meeting for consent items or. Now, the reason that was left off is because normally we book so many meetings, but we know that we can't get through July without a quick meeting with contracts and that. So that is a motion. Is there a second? Second, Board Member Cannon. Any discussion? And I'm short one screen, so I'm looking at this other, and I'm not seeing any. So let's vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passed unanimously. Okay, thank you. Okay, next up we have Board Member, did that cover that? Hey, you're back on here.
I just wanted to make one comment that there had been a board member who had wanted to do similar to what we did this year, where we moved the board meeting till the end of the legislative session. But because of the timing of the legislative session next year, it wouldn't have worked as smoothly as it did this year. And so
But
I
you-
just wanted to
Okay,
point that out.
all right. Okay,